Welcome back to our channel. Today we will talk about dependency table. So we will take a look at this part of Links Hierarchy application, and we will deal with its main functions, menu configurations, and main elements of menus inside of this part of Links Hierarchy, and also some use cases how you can use this part of Links Hierarchy in your daily work. Let's start.
First place where you can find dependency table is Application tab. Click on it and select Dependency table. The second place is your dashboard. Select Dashboard and add Dependency table as a gadget. The name of gadget is Link Dependency table. And third place, you can export your hierarchy tree view and discover and explore it in Dependency table. Select in More menu, View on Dependency table. The difference between first two variants and the last one is that in last one, the scope for dependency table will be JQL that include all issues that are present or were present in your tree view, visible issues. And for first two variants, the scope for dependency table will be board filter that you will select from the drop-down list. So I'm inside of dependency table. I already selected the saved filter for my board. You can select it from drop-down list, or if your list is numerous, you can search by typing the name of saved filter. And I clicked apply. My dependency table appeared on my working Canva. Now it's look very small and you don't see any details. So for this you have button zoom. You can zoom in your dependency table so you can see all the details of your table. Below zoom you can find the list of system and custom fields supported to analyze the issue. If you can't find any custom field that you want to use in your table, you can add them. Click on Add Custom Field, and from the drop-down list, select custom field that you want to add. This list is represented with custom fields and system fields that are already present in your Jira instance that you have already created or using. For example, let's select Product and click Apply. And we see that this custom field appeared in our list of dimensions. Now you can easily add and transform rows and columns from your table by adding dimensions with drag and drop. Let's select, for example, components and add them to our table as columns. Now we see that our table has changed and we see that the columns with components appeared. You can filter dimensions also. So click on the dimension, for example, components, and select only those components that you are interested in. And click Apply. Issues that are not corresponded to our scope, to our filter that we applied, will disappear from the Canva. So now I see only issues that have particular components that I have chosen before. You also can filter the results of your table without adding columns and rows to your table. For example, assignee. I know that in my project there are 2 assignees and some issues do not have any assignee. So I can click on assignee and select, for example, one assignee only and apply. The column assignee or row assignee did not appear in my table, but the results are already filtered by assignee too. So we see here only issues which have assignee that I selected. There is an option to shift your columns and rows in your table. For this, Links Hierarchy Dependency table have 2 buttons. The right one shift columns and the left one shift rows. By clicking on them, you can change the position of columns in your table for better visual effect. links hierarchy dependency table is also allows you to trace dependencies for cross-project boards. To add issues from other projects that might have any connection to the selected filter, you need to click on Include Related Issues into the domain and click Apply. And on your board will appear issues from other projects that have any connection with the selected one. They will be colored with a light blue color, and you can trace its dependencies by double-clicking on them. They will change the color, the issue color on yellow one, which means that at this moment this issue is a target issue. And following the lines, you will see with which issues on your board it is connected. All issues that have any dependencies with the target issue will be colored with pink issue card. Double-click any issue to trace its dependencies. You can also filter link dependencies on your working area. For example, let's leave only blocks, and here you see that only issues with blocks are connected with lines. These lines have mark on it. If you mouse over it, you will see the type of connection which exists between those two issues. In our case, we left only blocks, so it block. You have also option to set colors for each type of link dependencies, link colors. So click on icon and, for example, set colors for each type of dependency that you might have on your working area, on your table. And you will see how everything will change in your Canva. And for example, I will select also issue splits because I have them. So save. Now we see we selected line colors, and now we see that the purple ones, those indicates about epics. The red one are blocks, but I also have splits. The split line a little bit differ from other type of link dependencies because it's dotted line. And clicking on issue, you will see that this issue has two splits, and all those splits are connected with the target issue with dotted orange line, as I said it in settings before. So this coloring of dependencies in your Canva will help you to trace all types of dependencies at once, orienting on color that you selected for each type of dependency. And it helps you to work with a great amount of issues, with cross projects, and you can see all the picture of dependencies between your issues at once in one working area and one surface. Dependency tables provides you with pivot analytics. It supports count function and also some numeric and work time issue fields. Let's call them aggregators. You can find them and change them from the select box right to the zoom. The result is displayed on each cell on your dependency table. You have totals by columns and also totals by rows. Clicking on the aggregated result will open a list of issues of the cell on the issue navigator. So here we have a group of issues that have the same component, that are in progress, and that have issue type story. The same thing you can do with other functions. For example, sum. You select some function and then select what you want to calculate. If it's sum is numeric, so you can calculate work ratio, you can calculate watchers, votes, and also story points. For example, I will select story points. And now I can see that issues in progress that have component SQL console in total in story have 73 story points. And if I click on the result, I will see the JQL that contains all those issues, and if we will calculate the story points, total will be 73 as it was in our dependency table. Finally, you can track time estimation in dependency table. There are two forms of time estimation. First is with the function sum numeric, where you can see time estimation in seconds, time spent seconds. And the second form is with the function sum time, when seconds are converted into working days upon your settings, admin settings in your Jira instance. You can find also individual time estimation for each issue in your dependency table. This information you can find on each issue card. Each issue card contains the progress bar. In my case, it's time estimation, time spent. So mouse over the progress bar and you will see pop-up message with the time estimation for this particular issue. As it is pivot table, the aggregated data for time estimation you will find in each cell for each group of issues that are situated on your dependency table. For example, we have group of 3 issues with the type bugs and the status done, and the time estimation for this group will be mentioned in right upper corner of cell. Let's go back to the list of our metrics on which we can apply function SumTime. As you can see in the list, there are some kind of duplications. For example, time spent and sum of time spent. What's the difference between those two metrics? Let's filter our board so I can show you what's the difference in more visual way. Let's select issue type, for example, epics. So we have 4 epics. We selected time spent and we see that each cell contains the aggregated data which responds to the individual progress of each epic. So here we see 4 weeks, 3 days, 4 minutes. If we will mouse over the individual progress of this epic, TAL1, we see that time spent is 4 weeks, 3 days and 4 minutes. Let's change the metric and let's select sum of time spent. The aggregated data has changed and now it's 15 weeks, 1 day, 5 hours and 54 minutes. What has changed? If you will open the tree view of an epic, you can find there 2 progress bars, individual progress bar and the total progress bar. As you know, all epics include child issues that belong to this epic. The individual progress bar, if you mouse over it, you will see that the time spent for this epic, TAL1, is 4 weeks, 3 days and 4 minutes, as we saw previous time in dependency table. But if we will mouse over the progress bar total progress, we will see that the accumulated logged time is 15 weeks, 1 day, 5 hours and 54 minutes. This aggregated data includes the progress of all child issues that belong to the epic, including epic by itself. So in dependency table, when you select sum of time spent metric, it will calculate the progress, for example, the time spent of issue and all its child issues that belong to this selected issue. I'm about to finish my table. I'll apply last filters. I will monitor specific sprint. I will refresh my data because it's I spent some time to build my dependency table and some changes may occur in Jira. So I will refresh to stay updated. And now I'm ready to export. You can export into Excel your dependency table or create a gadget. I will create gadget. It offers you to create a new dashboard or select a dashboard from the list. I will select the existing dashboard. I will give a title to my gadget and click Create. In the status window, you see the message that Gadget Sprint 1 was created. Click on blue arrow and it will send you to the dashboard page. Now I see that my gadget was created. I can configure it. You can set filters. You can set also the configurable mode or non-configurable. I will set as non-configurable mode. You also can select link colors and table header color. I will select the blue one and click Apply or Save. So my gadget is created. Here I will share with my colleagues the sprint estimation, story point. Topics of your gadget may vary. You can trace progress of sprints, epics. You can focus on blocks on your board to avoid bottlenecks in your project. You can represent the information in two formats, in dependency mapping with detailed issue card or in simple table format for tracing, for example, time spent estimation. And also you can monitor your backlog in more visual way, as you can see right now. That's all information for today. Hope you will find this information useful in your daily work. Subscribe on our YouTube channel to stay updated. Leave your comments if you have some questions. I will try to answer them. And thank you for your attention. See you next video.